Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. If you are new, please hit the subscribe button. We are posting daily Master Duel content that includes deck profiles, covering all of the festival news. I posted a Banlist reaction to the XYZ festival last night, or early this morning, depending on your time zone. But hit the subscribe button if you are interested in daily Master Duel content. We are on that YouTube grind, almost to 1,000 subscribers, so thank you so much for all the support. Today, I am bringing to you what I believe to be the absolute best XYZ Festival deck, and surprise, surprise to absolutely nobody, it is pure Zoodiac with a bunch of tech cards in here. We're playing a bunch of hand traps, a bunch of going first, and a couple of going second cards, and I'll explain my theories and the reasoning behind why I'm playing the cards that I am as we go into it. And if I had a little bit more Ultra Dust, I would be playing another engine in the extra deck, but I'll get into that as we go along. I guess this would just be like it saves you a little bit of dust, but I'll get into that as we go along. We'll just hop straight into the deck profile and stay tuned. We are going to have a replay for after we finish up talking about the deck profile, just so I can showcase to you guys what this deck is capable of and how powerful it is going, just going into this festival. So I guess we'll start off with our hand trap lineup. We're playing 2 DD Crow, 3 Maxi, 3 Ash. The 3 Maxi and 3 Ash are pretty standard, I guess, for every, deck this format. Because the XYZ Festival is mainly a combo oriented deck, Maxi and Ash are just going to be great. I'm running 2 DD Crow as kind of a tech, with the XYZ format, most of the decks have cards that activate in the graveyard, and can go into plays there. So DD Crow is a great interaction tool, a great disruption tool for things like Monster Reborn and effects of monsters that special summon from the extra deck. From the graveyard. So playing 2 DD Crow, didn't want to bump it up to 3 just because it really needed to make room for other things, but playing 3 of the rest of the hand traps. And then of course we're playing 3 Infinite Impermanence, just a standard hand trap. After that, we are playing our Zoodiac lineup, pretty standard, just 10 Zoo names, 1 Bunny Blast, 3 Whiptail, 3 Thoroughblade, and 3 Ram. If you're unaware, I can give you a basic rundown of how the Zoodiac archetype works. The Zoodiac archetype works like this. All of the main deck Zoodiac monsters have effects and secondary effects if they are currently being used as material for an XYZ Zoodiac monster. So the effects that are gained off of Bunny Blast, if it's being used as a material, is during either player's turn when your opponent activates a spell card or an effect that targets this card, you can detach an XYZ material from this card and negate the activation. So pretty okay. The Whiptail is one of the better ones. If this card battles an opponent's monster after damage calculation, banish that opponent's monster. That's pretty good. Zoodiac is that it gives the XYZ monster piercing, which is really nice, and then the Ram is kind of the opposite of the Bunny Blast, is just for traps, which is really cool. And then all of them have other effects as well. The Bunny Blast, if it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can add a monster whose original type is a Beast Warrior from the graveyard to the graveyard to the hand. Whiptail is actually a really good one. It's a quick effect, and you can target a Beast Warrior XYZ monster you control and attach this card from your hand or field to it as material. So that's a really good effect, and we use that to get as much material on our XYZ monsters as possible, because all of the Zoodiac extra deck monsters all have the question mark, and they gain attack and defense equal to the number of the original attack and defense, the combined attack and defense of all of the Zoodiac monsters that are currently attached to it. So that's an easy way to bump it up. The Whiptail is a really easy way to bump it up. The Thoroughblade, if you open a lot of Zoo names, you can normal or if this card is normal or special summon, you can discard a Zoodiac card and draw a card. So easy way to go through your deck. And then the Ram, if it's destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can target a Zoodiac monster in your graveyard, except Ram and special summon it. Pretty standard stuff here. I'm gonna get into you know, a little bit of a tech here. There are a ton of kaijus running around. If you're going second this format, and because it's a best of one, I definitely recommend you running Gamma Seal, just so you have a way of clearing over your opponent's big boss monsters. And you'll see in the replay that the kaijus are, you know, work really well. So three of the Gamma Seal, one Monster Reborn, just really good to have again for, you know, exceeds your opponent has big boss monsters that go to the graveyard, snag them, why not? Running 3 Pot of Desires, pretty standard in Zoo list, banish 10 from the top of the deck and draw 2. We have a lot of duplicate names in this deck, so we're not super worried about banishing any one card. So there's that. Fire Formation Tenki, it's just a Rhoda for all of your Zoodiac monsters, and all Beast Warrior monsters gain 100 attack, which is nice. I think this is probably the best tech for the format now that the ban list is out. We have Book of Moon. It's really interesting. So target a face-up monster on the field and change it to face-down defense position. I believe that this is the best tech of the format. So, of course, you can't exceed with face-down monsters, as well as if you're going against certain archetypes in certain decks, you can just book whatever like exceed monster they have, and they can't really do anything about it. So Book of Moon here, honestly, pretty good. And the replay again shows why Book of Moon is so good as well. So 3 Book of Moon is really good. So I recommend this going into any Exceeds Festival deck this format. After that, we're playing 2 Called by the Grave. Protection for our Tenki, as well as pseudo disruption. You can set it, and then you know, banish a monster from your opponent's graveyard and then negate its effects. But again, just more interruption. This deck plays a ton of interruption, and it's really fun to you know, see and play and let all of your plays go through. Already went over the Infinite Impermanence, and then we're playing 2 of each of the Solemn Strike and the Solemn Judgment. These cards are really good in this format. I've been playing all night. The ban list dropped last night. The event, the festival, went live last night, and I've been playing it a ton. I've been having a ton of fun with this deck, and this is the main deck. A couple of, you know, the tech cards, the Gamma Seal and the Book of Moon. These are really nice techs. I really recommend that you check it out for yourself and just see how it works there. But we'll get into the extra deck now. We're playing a lot of zoos in here. 3 Tiger Mortar, 3 Borbo, 3 Hammer Kong, 3 Chakanine, and of course the limited to 1 Drident. Now, we are playing a lot of these. I ran out of Ultra Dust. If you have the means to make the Utopic Future and the Utopic Future Draco, absolutely throw those in. You can cut a copy of Hammer Kong and a copy of Borbo to throw that in. I absolutely recommend doing that because it's very easy to get 2 rank 4s out and just go into a big monster negate with the Utopic Future Draco. So I would absolutely recommend doing that. I just ran out of the UR Dust, but if you are also out of the UR Dust, don't worry. This deck is still so powerful that it doesn't really need it. I have never run into an issue of needing it, like running out of resources, because you basically have 2 win conditions with this deck. You either control the board with Drident until it gets powerful enough with, I guess you could attach a couple Whiptails to it, or you win by controlling the board with Zeus and Vespinato. So I've never had a game go so long that Drident was outed as well as Zeus, and I was just out of resources altogether. I've never come across that. I imagine that if you run the Utopic Future line, that games would be just a little bit easier for you, but it is absolutely not necessary whatsoever. This deck is very good, and doesn't need it as a necessity. But again, we're just going to get into the extra deck here. The Tiger Mortar, like I was saying earlier, all of the Zoodiac extra deck monsters gain attack and defense equal to the combined attack and defense of the Zoodiac monsters used for their used as material. And then as far as the effects go, the Tiger Mortar is pretty decent. You can Once per turn, you can detach material and then target an Exceed monster you control and one Zoodiac monster you control in your graveyard, and attach that Zoodiac monster to that Exceed monster as material. So if you had like a Trident, say, with no material, and you had something in the graveyard, you could use the Tiger Mortar to attach it and just give Trident an extra boost, or just another material in general. It doesn't really come up a whole hell of a lot, but it is there as an option. We're playing the one Dryden, obviously, the main monster that you're going to be using to control your opponent's boards. Detach a monster and pop a face-up card on the field, and that's a quick effect, so you can do that on your opponent's turn, which is really nice. Wish it wasn't limited to one, but I understand why it is, and it's banned in the TCG. It's just a really good card. Playing 3 Borbo. It can attack directly, and that is precisely the main... it's the main... I guess, enabler of our big boss monster here, the best Exceeds support to ever be released, I guess the best generic to ever be released, the Zeus. So this can attack directly, and then you can just overlay a Zeus in the main phase and absolutely just wipe the board. We're playing 3 of that. The Hammer Kong, what are we doing here? While it has Exceed material, your opponent can't target face-up Zoodiac monsters on the field with card effects, except for this one. And then you have to detach a material during the end phase. So we're playing 3 of this, just as Zoodiac names to stack. And then the Chakanine, probably another really good one. You can detach a material, target a Zoodiac monster in your graveyard, and special summon it, but it can't attack, but its effects are negated and can't be used as material for an Exceed summon. So if you had the Utopic Future line, this would be the way that you would be able to go into it really easily. If it's late game, you have an Exceed monster in your graveyard, go into Chakanine, activate the effect to bring out that other Exceed monster, and then just go into the Utopic Future, and then lay the Utopic Drinker Future, and then bam, you have another boss monster. So if you have the Ultra Dust for it, absolutely go for it. We're playing the one Vespinato. You can overlay this on top of any rank 4, and it does piercing, and then it floats when it leaves the field or is destroyed, and you can target a level 5 or lower monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So if this leaves, just bring back a Zoodiac and then go into more plays there. After that, of course, Zeus, the best card, the absolute best card of this deck. That and Trident is just what this deck is based around. If an Exceeds monster battles, you can slap Zeus on top of it, detach 2 materials, and then just decimate the board. You can get Zeus up to 6 materials, and so you can use its effect 3 times. Once when it's summoned to clear the board, and then 2 on your opponent's follow-up. And in the replay, I show how easy it is to get Zeus up to 6 materials. So that's a ton of interruption there. So yeah, I guess we'll just get into the replay, but thank you guys for watching. I have been Spellslinger, and we'll just get into the replay. Hit the subscribe button if you are again interested in daily Master Duel content. I will see you in just a second with the replay. Alright, so as we get into this replay here, I really wanted to showcase these tech cards and how devastating they can be. So we are going second. Here. Our opponent's going to activate Reinforcement of the Army, and they are playing the Utopic deck. They're going to summon out a couple of names and go into a Utopia Double. Activate the effect of Utopia Double, again, chaining itself. After that, chaining itself 3 times. Didn't know it could do that. I'm just dumb. I don't read cards. Neither does any other Yu-Gi-Oh player, to be fair, though. So anyway, they're going to add a copy of Double or Nothing and go into a copy of Utopia. There's too many letters in a line for me to read. Don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. Anyway, they're going to go ahead and add a ZW Lightning Blade and continue to go here. It's really big right now. It's at about 6,000. They're going to activate the effect to detach and bring out a copy of number 38 Hope Harbinger. They're going to activate the effect of the Lightning Blade to equip it to their big guy, making it a 7,200, as well as normal summoning a Marmiting Captain. To discard or to shuffle a card back and draw. They draw the Fortune Fairy Sui and special summon it out. So this is what they're working with. They're working with this big guy that can't be, I think because of the equip card, they can't be, or if it would be destroyed, then you destroy the Lightning Blade instead, and they are working with a spell and trap negation. So With that being said, and they just have a couple of monsters on the side. With that being said, we opened the tech choices that I decided to run in this deck, and this replay is going to show exactly why they're so good. So our turn, we go ahead and pass it to us. We draw for turn, and we draw the Tenki. After this, we go ahead and just kaiju out the number 38, so we can play our spell cards without the worry of them being negated. And then after that, we go ahead and just activate Book of Moon on their big guy, which just, their equip goes to the graveyard, and now they have no interaction, barring any hand traps that they have in their hand. We activate the Tenki to add a copy of the Whiptail. Activate the Pot of Desires just to see if we can get anything else off the top. Solemn Strike and a Tenki, and another Tenki. Normal summon out the Thoroughblade. Going into a Tiger Mortar. I'm going to speed this up because this is just a lot of summoning here. Going into a Hammer Kong, into a Chakanine, into a Borbo. And Borbo right now is at about 1700. We can attach the Whiptail to it to make it a 2900 attack directly. And also doing that, as we go into a copy of Zeus here, it now has 6 materials, so we can activate the quick effect to basically wipe the entire board for everything except for Zeus 3 times. So we're gonna do that obviously once now to get rid of everything, and then go into a copy of Monster Reborn to get their own number 38 Hope Harbinger to our side of the field, which is a spell negation, and then we take that card and attach it as material. We're going to set the Solemn Strike and pass it, so we're looking pretty good for how our opponent ended their turn with their big boss monster and the Hope Harbinger, but we have now flipped it around on them to take their number 38 Hope Harbinger, as well as we can activate the effect of Zeus 2 times, as well as a set Solemn Strike. So we go ahead and pass it back to our opponent, and from here they end up activating the effect of Pot of Avarice. Now they go ahead and attempt to, or they target the cards to shuffle back. We end up going ahead and activating the effect of the Hope Harbinger. My reasoning here was because we have a ton of we have more interaction and more disruption for them, so I just didn't want them to get even more advantage and get even deeper into their deck to search for things like Lightning Storm and stuff like that. So my reasoning for that was, obviously, if they had the Lightning Storm, then I assume that they would have played it first to try to bait out the Hope Harbinger. So at this point, I assume that they're just activating the Pot of Avarice to try to dig. So we go ahead and negate that with the Hope Harbinger, with their Hope Harbinger, which is hilarious. And they normal summon out the Time Thief Chronocoder, I think is what that's called, and end their turn. And then the Chronocoder has an effect where if it's attacked, you contribute it, and then any damage that they would take is dealt to me. So we go ahead and switch Zeus to attack and just battle. We attack with the Hope Harbinger, they activate the effect, and then we Solemn Strike them. And then from there, it's just an easy... it's easy. This deck is it's so good. I will go as far as to say that pure Zoodiac is probably the best deck to run for the Exceeds format. It is so incredibly fun to play. I had so much fun with this deck. With that being said, though, thank you so much for watching. I have had so much fun with this format so far. I'm really happy that Konami decided to implement a custom ban list for this event. Let me know what you are running, or if you have any changes that you would make to this deck. I'm pretty happy with how it is right now. I would really like to have that the Utopic Future line in there, but I know that isn't an option for myself right now because I don't have the dust. So might just have to grind out and get some more gems to see if I can craft it out. But I have been Spellslinger. Thank you so much for watching. I am posting daily Master Duel content. Hit the subscribe button if you are interested. Thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you tomorrow with more awesome Master Duel content. Have a great day.